Okay, ready? Here we go.
Ioniq 5N launch control. I'm standing next to the 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 5N. Now Hyundai says that N stands for NRCan, which is their performance skunk works in Korea. But with 641 horsepower, multiple track modes, and the drift mode, N could easily stand for 9. Gearheads tend to be a pretty sensory-driven bunch when it comes to our cars, and consciously or not, most of us take our cars to the track not just looking for straight-line speed, but also looking for a thrill-dealing blend of G-forces, tortured tires, and, yes, noise. Now, Hyundai says that's what they've baked into the all-electric 2025 Ioniq 5N, something that's noticeably been missing from EVs, even performance-oriented ones. So we're going to take this thing onto the Parcmotor track just outside Barcelona to find out. So I don't know if you can hear that back there, but it really does sound like pop and crackle on the overrun when you let off the accelerator pedal. Of course, we can't call it a gas pedal because this is an all-electric car. I was speaking with June Park, the June Park, father of N, at supper time yesterday, and he was saying how they really wanted to try to infuse a lot of cues that race car drivers and performance drivers like to have on the track, because when you think about your braking points, when you think about how you handle your car in a closed environment like this, feel that? Right? That's the sort of visceral response they're looking for in this electric car, because it's fine to do fake gears, it's fine to do fake noise, but unless it's accompanied by some other traits, and this definitely is accompanied by some other traits, it feels too much like a video game, and this does not. It sticks really well through the corners. A lot of that's down to the tires, of course, and also down to the fact that there's an awful big battery, 84 kilowatt hours in this one, mounted really, really low. So it has the center of gravity of a worm. Overall weight, 2,200 kilograms. 0 to 60, not in my hands, but in someone else's hands, of about 3.4 seconds. Same thing with the drift modes as well. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the video, but there's an awful lot of pop and crackle, just like there would be on the overrun on a turbocharged car that's been tuned to heck. Hear that? And I do feel they've succeeded here. So gearheads, don't be afraid of electric cars, especially when they're like this. This is far from any sort of soulless appliance that all the naysayers have foretold that the electric car is going to be. This is just as fun as anything else in this price range. The power delivery is so linear as you would imagine it is in an electric car, because you have all of that right now power. But it's intentional that there are brakes in the power like that to simulate transmission gear shifts of their 8-speed DCT. And it works. It really works. It all forms a cohesive unit that allows you to drive this thing like an ice car, but it's fully electric. You're getting the best of both worlds here. And Hyundai has absolutely nailed the execution on this thing. See, and you can screw up a shift just like you can in a nice car. Is this probably the most fastest way around the track, or the fastest way to do an all-electric car? No, probably not. I mean, manual shift cars are not the fastest anymore. But damn, it's fun. Putting 641 all-electric horsepower in a vehicle this size is like stuffing an entire ghost pepper chili into a deviled egg. You're gonna notice when you bite into it, and you absolutely notice when you bite into the power of this thing, especially when you've got it in full attack mode, when you can simulate these gear shifts. This is a new direction for N, obviously, because it's their first crack at a massively powerful all-electric car. Yet it's also marking a bit of a transition in which an EV can be just as fun as an ICE car on a track. So in that way, in both ways, it's the beginning of the end. Hyundai has priced the 2025 Ioniq 5N at $78,199 plus $1,950 worth of destination fees, pushing the total bill to over 90 grand after the man takes a share of taxes. It's said that Hyundai comes from the Korean word Hyundai, which stands for of the present age, and it doesn't get more of the present age than a 641 horsepower all-electric car, especially one with devastating performance credentials and the ability to whip around this racetrack like no one's business. For Driving.ca, I'm Matthew Guy.